Namaste, Jai Bharat. War strategies. Weapon power, strategies, intelligence, programming, planning. War strategies actually wins the war. And Bharat has a history of such strategies. People must have read the Mahabharata, part of the epic. The Mahabharata is based on a war, Kurukshetra war between the Kauravas and Pandavas. And with the Mahabharata or the Bharat war, according to our chronology of time, understanding time, the Yuga, that's Dwapara Yuga, we have 4 Yugas, then we have Kalpas, we have Manvantaras, all those things are there. So Dwapara Yuga comes to an end, that Kali Yuga begins. The Mahabharata war is the cessation of or the end of Dwapara Yuga and beginning of Kali Yuga. That's when we come to the present Yuga. Of course, we already have several such Yugas and Kalpas, and we are with the Manvantara, which is 7th Manvantara, if I am not wrong, which is Manav Manvantara. We have got a long chronology, time, understanding, periods. Our concept of time is cyclical, not linear. So, this goes around repeating, which avoids many contradictions conceptually. So, that Mahabharata war, I would request people to read now the Mahabharata war again with a different perspective of understanding the strategies involved in it. The Kaurava part, much larger army, much more greater warriors, and the quote unquote the person from Gandhara, which is Kandahar today, who is the brother-in-law of the Kaurava king, father king, Dhritarashtra. Shakuni says that he says one thing, you just keep that Vasudeva Krishna away from the battlefield for some time, I will win this battle. So, if you read it, you will understand one thing. It's one person who won the battle, and that one person has already taken an oath that I shall not touch any weapon. Of course, there were instances of him taking his weapon, Sudarshan Chakra, but then that's not a common instance. At times, to what extent he has used his opportunity. So, I am talking about Bhagawan Srikrishna, who for us in Gujarat is Dwarakadhish. His strategy of war, you are trying to understand. He doesn't touch weapons. He doesn't fight himself. On the contrary, he says, I will drive your chariot for Arjuna. And then of course, he keeps advising him, that's different. He wouldn't touch weapons. He would make others use. That kind of war strategy can you see anywhere else in any kind of strategical encyclopedia? And that Dwarakadhish is the, king of Gujarat. And the people here are supposed to be his subjects. And don't just forget that my Prime Minister was a Param Hindu. He is a subject. So he wouldn't, he doesn't have to learn anything from anyone else. Everything is there in front of us, him. They look at the war strategy, how he sits, how he thinks, how he executes without speaking. All that is exposed is his mind. That is precisely what Bhagavan Srikrishna was doing, and what my Prime Minister does is nothing more, nothing less. than quietly executing his duty. Oh, karmanye vyadhikaraste mahaphaleshu kadachana is what he advised us, but he advised us to perform your karma. He also instructed us, ahimsa is param dharma, but for the sake of dharma, himsa is more than that. Ahimsa paramo dharma, dharma himsa tathaivacha. So, with the Dwarakadisha's model and understanding him and implementing him in your steps, anybody will be in a battle with sensibility, understanding, ingenuity, wisdom, straightforwardness, steadfastness, and overall righteousness. So the strategy of Bharata you cannot anticipate. Well, you can anticipate provided you understand Mahabharata. You understand the character of Bhagawan Srikrishna. Then you can anticipate something. It's just a piece of advice to those who wanted to understand Bharat, their strategies and their battles. If you understand Bhagavan Srikrishna, to some extent you can anticipate this is how Bharat might possibly do things. We have had a series of weapons. We have made a lot of weapons during our peace time, at least in the last 10 years' time. It's not just BrahMos, the missile. There are many such things which are not used yet. They are not used. In Mahabharata, Kurukshetra war also, there were many weapons that were not used until there was dire need. They are there, but they won't use it. Similarly, we have a lot of things must have made, I'm sure. You just know one BrahMos. There could still be many other weapons, and it's only Operation Sindhu was exposed a portion of the weaponry what Bharat has. That's not the end. No one knows. No one should know. Why should everyone know? No one should know. What is national secret is national secret. What Khatotkash can do, only Khatotkash should know. Of course, Bhagavan Sri Krishna knows, that's a different story. He knows who will do what. That's what he is, Bhagavan Sri Krishna. That's why he is. So, if you want to know what my premises shall do, please read Mahabharata and try your best to understand the character of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, and try your best to understand what he means or what is meant behind each of his smile throughout the text. Each time he smiles. Throughout the text, what is behind implied, try to understand. Maybe you would be able to anticipate what Bharat may do next. All the best. It's a good instruction I'm giving as far as I am concerned. All the best. Pakistanis can't do it because they have no idea of what I'm speaking of. And many people may have no idea of what I'm speaking of, but nonetheless, again, I'm just speaking. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat. Jai Sri Ram.